I would now like to invite Sir David Carruthers to give the second address. O mai te pakipaki.
In the mana, in the reo, in the iwi, tēnā koutou, e kuia mā, o koro mā, tēnā koutou, e rōrangatira mā, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. I acknowledge the Chancellor, Alan Judd, and the Vice-Chancellor, Nick Smith, and all of you, ladies and gentlemen, on this wonderful occasion, but particularly, of course, all of those who graduated today, and I personally congratulate you for your diligence and your determination and your courage and that of your whānau and supporters and family who have brought you to this point. I am humbled and excited to be here today. I'm the oldest graduate here, but I'm particularly honoured that it's my old university which is according me this distinction and allowing me to speak for 4 minutes. It's one of those rare occasions, ladies and gentlemen, which is of course welcome, when the introduction and the citation taken together are still longer than the actual speech. 61 years ago, I graduated from this famous university, and I well remember the occasion, and I recall particularly today those who made it possible. We all of us stand on the backs of those who went before us, and I think particularly today of my own parents, now dead, but also my wife and children and my wider family who've always stood with me. My own graduation ceremony is also clear in my mind. We had a problem in those days, which I'm glad to see isn't echoed here. There were not enough trencher hats, the particular hat that young students wear as they graduate. And so we had to share them. And as one group went up to the Chancellor to be capped in the usual way, and they were acknowledged, they returned to their seats, but they were required to break into a run in order to hand on the trencher to those who are then starting to move forward to the position of acknowledgement. And many of them made it. But unfortunately, those going up to receive the capping acknowledgement saw those who were going back running and increased rapidly their own speed. And so the whole cycle began to accelerate in a thoroughly satisfactory way, with a pleasing touch of chaos in it. One chap at the end of it all said that he'd been capped twice because the announcer of names had got overwhelmed by the speed. And I just want to bring to your attention the seamless performance we have seen today, organised so beautifully and with dignity and a professional exercise. So things have changed very much for the better. I hope all of you as graduates have as satisfying time as I have had after your graduation, when you start applying what you've learnt and how you've learnt it for the benefit of others. And I have been late in recognising how much I owe this university, this famous university, to Herringa Waka, and to the professors and teachers and lecturers and tutors who took an interest in me and helped me at this formative time. 3 of them are still alive, although it's not quite certain about the 3rd at the moment. But then we were worried about him when he was lecturing as well. But it's a matter of regret to me now, as I grow older, that I haven't been able to say thank you to those who were so careful and thoughtful to me those years ago. And one thing which I notice dramatically today, which has changed and which I glory in, is what a wonderful mixed bunch and what wonderful diversity of graduates there is here today. I recognise that there are a number of overseas students, and so we are lucky to have them, but there is such a diversity of others here, which was not the case in my day. One female only graduated in my class. She is still alive, and we have reunions, but the numbers are dwindling quite rapidly. And very soon, the few that are left to have a reunion will have difficulty recalling where we are, what we're there for, and who, in fact, who we are. One of the highlights of my life, I must tell you, was associated with a job which my wife Catherine was given by Professor John Preble and Lui Manaveo Dame Winnie Laban some years ago, when it was seen that Pacifica students were not graduating in law in the numbers to be expected. Not because of their lack of ability, because they were extremely able, but they were, of course, used to doing things in a communal and different way. And so the individual study habits which were then used did not work for them. And so I was suddenly volunteered with a number of other practitioners, older practitioners, to meet a keen young Pacifica students who turned out to be absolutely wonderful people, full of principle and faith. My association with them has been enriched and deepened over the years because we've remained friends, but it brought home very clearly to me the great need, which is recognised by this wonderful university, of special help for categories of people who come into this place disadvantaged from the beginning. And I just acknowledge the work that's being done about that, and to say how important it is in the interests of equity and fairness that we continue it. So I congratulate you students today. I congratulate your families and whānau. I congratulate your teachers who are justifiably proud of what they have achieved. And I express my own pride today that this famous university is now producing such a wonderful and diverse group of people who are keen to make their mark in the world and will do so and contribute to others what they have gained so well here. I wish you well in those endeavours. God bless you all. Kia ora.